So one of the other things that I'm trying to do is build a gallery of completed maps, but using the challenges. So Osaka is one of the ones we have to do. So we need to reach week 10 in Osaka. So, see how this goes. As usual, first few weeks are a little dry. There isn't really that much that needs to get done here in terms of strategic placement. It's pretty easy to just drop lines down, keep everything rolling. Osaka's challenging, of course, because of the coastline and the number of tunnels that end up being necessary. You got to be a little judicious about their use. You do start off with a good number, and I think you get them in pairs when they do show up, so that helps. But the network gets pretty busy after a while in Osaka, so it does get a little tricky. As usual for the opening game, I'm just going to build everything around my square hub there. Alright, as a general policy, I'm going to be taking locomotives over the Shinkansen pretty much every week, because I just don't think that the bullet train matters that much. I mean, yeah, it goes fast, but it still has to stop and start. So I'm going to take the locomotives, and I'm going to take the fourth line to start off with here. So let's see how I want to do this. One thing that should be pretty obvious for everybody once you've played the game enough, so you'll notice this tunnel that I connected up here. It goes across two distinct bodies of water, but it's just one tunnel. As long as the station that you're connecting goes over one or more bodies of water, then it'll just use one tunnel. So for example, if I took that one off and connected this one, still just one tunnel. As soon as I add that one in, now it's two tunnels. So I'll leave it like that. It's maybe not ideal, those triangles in a row, but should work okay for a while. So this is pretty classic Osaka. You're going to get triangles in the northwest and circles in the southeast. It's just how this map works. Alright, well that's actually not bad. That triangle turning into a special station is okay for us. And oh, nice. Okay, that's perfect. Alright, we'll do this. In the Berlin video, I talked about how... well, I'll come back to that in a sec. Okay, carriage versus interchange. I don't like picking interchanges if I can avoid it. They really... They have their uses, for sure. But early in the game especially, I don't like that option. So I wish it had given me tunnels or a line there. Those are what I really wanted. Anyway, back to this purple line. So the two circles in a row is fine because I've got triangles on either side of them. So I've got a triangle there and there. This other circle could get a bit challenging. And what am I going to do about this circle? Oh boy. Yeah, okay. I got a ton of circles coming in down here. Alright, I think it's time to make a change here. I'm going to kill that purple line. What I'm going to do is build a line like that. And now what's going to happen is any of the square passengers on that purple line are either going to drop off here, and you know what's going to be... Yeah, they're going to drop off on this circle there, or they're going to ride to the end and get off at the triangle there, and then they'll hitch a ride to the square on blue or red. And I think what I might do is this, because any passenger is destined for that pentagon. If I don't connect it, they're going to have to ride all the way up and around through the square, and it's just kind of a drain. So I think I'll do that, and I'm actually kind of tempted to try this. Let's see how that works. Alright, we'll let that go and see. Actually, you know what? Let's get crazy. Let's do that. I'm going to take the red one off of there. Alright, so basically now the blue line here, this one, kind of acts a little bit like a downtown express for that purple suburban line. So purple doesn't connect to the square, which is okay. That means that purple passengers on these purple stations that want to go to the square can go to one of three places. They can go to the Pentagon, they can go to the Plus, or they can go to this triangle. So the purple line will be offloading square passengers pretty frequently, which is what we want. It also means that any special passengers for the Plus or the Pentagon can get off of that purple line or can travel to their destination on the purple line. They don't need to transfer, which is also good. And then anybody heading for the star can either go directly on the green line from the Pentagon. Whoops, that's not what I meant to do. Alternatively, they can get off at the Plus and transfer that way, or they can get off at the triangle and transfer in as well. So I think this is okay. We have 2 circles in a row on red, which I don't really like. We have 2 circles in a row on purple, but it's bookended by triangles, so that's okay. We have 2 circles in the row down here, and it's not bookended. That's the part of this network that I'm maybe a little concerned about. So we'll just watch it and see what happens. We have a few extra engines to play with here too, so let's put those into service. I'll put them on the red one as well. Ah! That is a nice triangle that we just popped up there. I like that. Let's connect that guy like that. That's really helpful. Oh, and we lost one of our circles to a special. That's fantastic. That's going to help us a lot. Okay, we'll take the tunnels. So I want the blue line to be able to bring special passengers from the hub as directly as possible. So that's why I just pulled it onto the water drop right there. That circle is a little challenging. I really don't want 3 in a row. So now we've got another mix. We've got some options here. We're going to back the red line right off. Let's see what we can do here. So let's say we did these for the purple line. What can we do with red that's going to work well up there? How about this guy? So let's do that. That gets us a nice alternating pattern. It's maybe not the nicest looking route in the world, but it's okay. And then of course there's one more. Do we want to do that? Let's try to... Let's see. Well, let's run it and see what happens. You know what? This will be even better. So what I've done is I've connected the red line to the purple line here so that any Plus or water drop or now diamond passengers on red don't have to go backwards. I don't want them to have to travel all the way back to here in order to get down the map. So we'll try that. We got enough tunnels to do that. line. Excellent. All right. So let's see if there's anything we're concerned about here. Got lots of engines here. You know you're doing okay if you've got that many engines and your network is generally holding up. It's getting a little bit clogged up over here though, of course. So let's drop another one on red. What's happening at the hub? We got a bunch of specials, most of which are on that blue line. So let's do that. And you know, I think I'm gonna push the purple line all the way to square. See how that works out for us. Put another train on green. Let's do that. Now, I'm not, I was going to say I'm not a fan of loops. That's not true at all. Loops are great in the right context. In the Berlin video, I didn't use any loops, but here, now I'm looking at this purple line, and I'm thinking, you know, I'd like to get this off of red, just because it's kind of hanging out in the middle of nowhere there. So let's try this. I'm going to connect purple as a loop. I've got 2 trains both running clockwise on it. So I'm going to change that. If you're going to use a loop, you want trains running in both directions most of the time. It's not always true. There are cases where you want to run all the trains the same way on a loop, but in this case, that's not the most effective way to do this. When you do use a loop, one of the things that's really handy is I can let the game run while I talk about this. The way the blue line cuts across it, slashing a loop in half to create basically a shortcut to something like a square station or a special station is a really useful tool. That basically means that these purple trains can be dropping square passengers off at the water drop, which is really great. You don't want them carrying square passengers all the way around the whole thing all the time. Alright, so we've got a few more circles showing up here. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to use our new line. I'm going to go like that. And I think I'll send that pink line like that. Alright, we'll give that a shot. And this other triangle out here, I'm going to try sticking the red line out, see if that services it okay. Let's drop an extra train on the pink one. Oh, got another triangle. Oh, the triangle's going to save us a tunnel, I think. That's nice. I'm going to take the line in this case because I'm just about to get a tunnel back. There we go, that's nice. So, alright, so I'm just looking at this blue train here. It just picked up at that station. It's full, but it wouldn't have picked up. I'm looking for a place to put the carriage, but it wouldn't have picked up any of those other guys because it was heading southeast. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put the carriage on the green line because it goes way up on its own and it has to service. It basically has to pick up the circle. This triangle has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stations to pick up on its way to the square. So it's going to fill up on a regular basis. So we're going to put the carriage there for the extra capacity. And then I've got a couple more circles to deal with down here, so let's make a connection point and do that. And now actually I can back off that red station. Let's do a new way to get in, and let's do it all the way to the square. Alright, so far so good. Blue trains, they're holding their own. There's the green train with the carriage, doing a big pickup, that's good. We're doing okay for tunnels. Got 3 in my pocket. I'm going to take another carriage here. Where do I want to put it? I might put it on the blue line. I'm going to add another train to the brown line for sure. And I think the pink line too. Alright. Let's put... Alright. So this far southern component of the map is probably going to become the most challenging. We don't have any triangles to work with nearby. So connecting this circle down here is going to be a bit tricky. I mean, if I do this, I've basically got, if I look for the nearest triangles to this thing, I gotta go all the way up to here, or I have to go through the hub all the way up to my other kind of main triangle up top there. That is ugly. So I may not have much choice. My options are drop the purple down, extend green, or extend pink. Well, pink is terrible. The green one might work. Alright, here's another option. We could try this. Put a triangle onto the green line, and then extend that one. See if that works. That might work great, might not work at all. We'll find out. Alright, I got some work to do up north as well here. I'm going to put both carriages on the green line so that I can... Oops, that didn't work where I wanted. That way both of my green trains have that capacity. And I gotta be careful here. I don't have an extra line in my pocket here, so I can't use ghost lines to solve problems here. What's my shortest line? The blue one. But the blue one services a ton of special stations and is... Yeah, I gotta be careful. I don't necessarily want the blue line going longer. I would kind of like the blue and the red line to connect over here somehow. I'll come back to that. It's not my main problem. So, red, pink, or green has to be extended up there somehow. And I think... Let's... I always find if it's not obvious, just back your network off a little bit and see if a different configuration pops out that looks good. So maybe we don't need the red line down there so far after all. Let's try that. So if we do... okay, let's just go all the way back. Let's just kill it. Alright. So now we have a whole extra line. First, let's just solve this problem so that we don't have to worry about it so much. And just do the same thing up here. So now, what do we want to build here? We've got a mix of circles and triangles. This should be doable. So let's see. I mean, that looks insane, but it might work. Maybe push it through to the square. Let's see what happens. Put a couple of trains on that line. Alright, I'm going to use the blue line to go up to this guy. Because it is pretty short, doesn't make it too much longer. It should work. Got another rogue triangle spawning way out here, that's a problem. I'm inclined to take the interchange now. We've got a ton of lines all coming into that square. I can speed up every single train's loading and unloading that comes in there. I think I might do that. And I think I also want... I need something else going on up in this top northeast corner here. That red line is just not going to cut it. I could load trains on that all day and it's just going to be a mess. Hopefully next week we get another line, our last line, because we really need it here. Let's see. Alright, you know what we can do? Try another loop here. So we'll do that. And what I want is, I said that loops, it can be good to cut your loops in half. So let's take that pink line and run it up there. That way we can drop... Oh, pink doesn't go through the square though. That's a problem. Basically what I want is a way to unload square passengers and special passengers. You could try that. It's a bit weird, but might work. Yeah, let's see what happens. Alright. So, run that for a little bit. Our train's going opposite directions. So let's do that. And need to service that. And I said I was going to put a hub. So the question is, what's my bigger hub? This triangle or this square? That's a good question. Also got another triangle to deal with here. I'm going to try this. One of the reasons I'm doing that is if I do this, that's 2 tunnels. That's just 1. Although, actually, in terms of net tunnels, I guess it's actually the same, because the green line already has 1. But anyway, I don't like the idea of the green line working that way, so I'm not going to do that. Alright. Where... Oops. There's a circle down here I didn't notice. So many circles on this map in the southwest. I gotta try it. That puts 3 in a row, but... sometimes you just gotta make it work. Alright. Got a lot of trains in reserve, that's good. You know, I'm going to put the interchange on this triangle. I think that's our bigger problem. If I have to pick another interchange, it won't be the worst thing in the world, because then I can put it on the square. Alright, bit of overloading down here. So one of the reasons I'm not dropping all my trains onto the map right away is I want to see where the network needs them. We really need our last line here. Alright, we're in week 9. The goal is to reach week 10. Hopefully we're going to get a line here, and if we do, yes, I'm not going to build this line. I'm going to coast us in here with ghost technique, because really, when you're going for challenges, you're just trying to win. I could try to build a stable network that would get us through the week, but honestly, it can be tricky, and I'm not sure it's worth it. So this guy's got a ton of triangles. What's the closest triangle? Just do a big one like that. Alright, who else is backed up? Okay. Yeah, it's pretty good. Let's see, everything's going here. Got tons and tons of trains here. Let's put one on pink. Do a ghost line up here. I think we're gonna get our challenge done here. Alright, let's just pause, take a quick scan, make sure nothing's going to blow up on us. Let's drop an extra train onto brown. Oh, there is a train there already. I didn't see that. There's one right in the station. So let's put our new train just ahead of him. Oh, can't do that. You can drop trains around if you change their direction, but if you just try to move it ahead one station, the game just won't really accept that. Yeah, let's just go backwards then. Alright. All we gotta do is get through the next couple of days on the map here. And there's week 10. Perfect. Alright. Well, that gets us through Osaka. I'll post this up, put it alongside Berlin. Hopefully people find these useful. Catch you later.